This is going to be a little controversial. This is probably going to get me in trouble. I don't know. We'll see. So, am I delayed? I hope not. Anyways, so basically, I don't like when people follow me on Twitter and then just like for let's just go for art shares. Just art shares. That's typically what the issue is. I'll like participate in art shares and stuff like that, and I will actually like advocate and like promote people as much as possible, and really build a community up as much as I can. And it gets really irritating when I don't get that back. They acknowledge you doing so and then just like toss you to the wayside. So I've just been purging Twitter accounts that have just been dumb follow for follows that have not really contributed anything to the art community. Not just constantly retweeting, not posting their art. Hypocrite, right? No, but like just for my feed alone, I need it to be curated. And having a curated community that interacts with each other and helps each other out and supports each other is very important when it comes into the art world, because in the end, we're all alone and we're doing all this by ourselves, and it's hard to do this by ourselves. So, I try to filter out the nonsense as much as possible. So, yeah, that's that pretty much. So if I do unfollow you on Twitter, it's no hard feelings. It's just there's just content that I just don't like seeing, or there's a lack of content and a lack of communication. I don't expect like all 500 followers to talk, but I would like to at least have a nice small tight knit community, and I do have one. I have Pikaru and Andy, and Knight. And you have Crucifix and everybody else that kind of we're all just working together. We're trying to make the dream, a reality, and it's good to have all of that, have us all work together to make that possible. But I've had a lot of people messaging me anxious about me unfollowing them, and I understand that. But you know, if you have been interacting with me and have been a good follower, you've been liking and retweeting, and I've been doing the same back to you. 90% of the time, I'm gonna keep you followed. But if I haven't seen any like something from somebody for like 3-4 months, just not even messaging, and only retweeting and only posting their own stuff, and then doing tons and tons of art shares that are just flooding my feed, which, by the way, I'm gonna talk about art shares. This is gonna be a little controversial, and people are not gonna like hearing this, but it is the truth. Whether you believe it is or not, art shares do not benefit the people that participate in them. Period. They don't. They do not help you. What they do, when somebody posts an art share, and they might not even know that they're doing it, and that's fine, because we've all been kind of conditioned to do art shares. Art shares do not help anybody but the original poster of that post, because the way of the Twitter algorithm works is that for every reply and every engagement on that post, that engagement gets pushed towards that account, and Twitter will see, people like posting on this account. These follows, these retweets, these likes, everybody's posting on this one thread that this one user started with an art share. And the engagement all goes to that person. You don't get that engagement. They do, because it's under their wall and their feed. And what that does is it makes it possible for them, and I'm going to click this, it makes it possible for them to get more followers and them to get more recommendations on Twitter via the algorithm, because they're tricking the algorithm into thinking, people really like this content, they want to see it more, so they'll show it more. So whenever you see an art share being done constantly, and the person that is doing that art shares is getting tons of follows, but you are not, that is why. Half the time, people will just post their art and walk away. They will not retweet each other. They don't support each other. They'll maybe do it for a little bit and they'll message each other and then they'll go off into the you can find decent people through art shares. You can, find people that are willing to support you. A lot of the people that I have ran into have been through art shares. So I won't completely disregard them. But through 90% of my art shares, I've only ever really curated at least one or two people from one of them, from each one, and it goes to show that that it really doesn't benefit you at all. You're just helping the original poster. So keep that in mind when you're doing art shares constantly, and you see the people that the original poster is starting to get a little bit more engagement than anybody else that's posting. Sure, your art's getting spread around and retweeted by them, and you're seeing it on their feed. But once that art share is done, the engagement stops there. The support will stop there. That's how it works. That's how it's always been. The truth sucks. It's just how it is. And this is partly why I don't participate in art shares anymore. And if I do, it is very closed off and very specific to mutuals only. And anybody that wants to be a mutual and engage. I do very closed off art shares. I don't allow people who are not mutuals to be part of the art share because it doesn't curate the community at all. I support a lot of my friends in their endeavors, whether it's through streaming or through their art or their Patreons. I pay it forward because that support is what actually matters. Seeing that people are really genuinely interested in their stuff and, and working hard at, uplifting their goals and their dreams. That's what you should be doing. Retweeting, commenting, and liking doesn't do anything. Following people doesn't do anything. It's actually engaging with them, actually sitting down and doing something to support those people. There are a couple people that I'm following right now where on the 17th I will be supporting their Kickstarters. One who is making a game, his name is Zade Studios. And he's making like a very cool Chrono Cross game. And then there's another guy that I'm going to be following as well. His name is Tonic Mole, and he's making or has made an Indiegogo for his comic called Saving the World. And I actually pay it forward. I'm actually going to support them. I'm actually going to help them in their careers versus just retweeting it and liking it or not communicating with them, not DMing them, not sitting down and curating, a business and a mutual friendship. That's the most important thing to do. So keep that in mind when you are promoting your content and you see that you're not getting any engagement despite doing hundreds of art shares. That's why you're not actually truly engaging with people. You're not coming down and sitting down with them and doing collaborations. That's another thing. Collaborating is so important. Like, find somebody who's willing to sit down with you and talk about their content, sit down with their stream, promote theirs, and then they can promote yours, get people coming in. That's how you get a following. That's how you get a curated community. Not through Twitter, not through follows and retweets. It's never worked. It never will. And it does for some people, but for little guys, it does not. So until you have a stable following, until you have, until you have the base to actually build a following on Twitter, and have an active community that continues to engage with you, focusing on Twitter is a no-go. What you should be focusing on is your studies, your portfolio, and getting engagement, getting people that should regularly talk with you, curating your Discord more than anything, your close, tight knit group of friends, if you have any. Sorry if you don't, but you can get some, but you have to engage. You have to be a part of the community. Otherwise, you will get nowhere. And I had to learn that the hard way. So remember that. Keep that in mind. If you want to succeed, you have to communicate with people. We're social creatures. Humans are very, very social creatures. And if you're not committing to the social aspect of that, being introverted or not, you will stagnate. You will not see progress, and you will feel bad about it. And that's just how it is. So that's what I have to say on that. I'm going to add a stream marker here for that. That way I can highlight that for later. Yeah. Good to know. Good to keep in mind. Anyways, off of that topic, do give, and I will share them here as well. That way you can see it in the chat on the top left. I am actually going to share Tonic Mole, who is creating that comic series. So give him a follow and give Zade Studios a follow. Which, there we go. Let me, whoa. Let me post that there. These two guys right here. I've been actively following them. They're various, they're very straightforward artists. They have a dream, they have a goal, and they've put so much work into what they're doing. And then another special one that I really care about a lot, Studio Nice. They're in the Philippines. They've been making comics for a very long time now. They have a released comic called The Tokyo 5, which I will show you right here. This is an amazing... actually, let me make sure that you guys can see me. This is an amazing comic manga. They made the first volume and released it in this Tangaban format. Tanga. I forgot what it's called. But amazing. All the art is done by Studio Nice. The creator and the writer is Andrew. I will give his Twitter as well. He is the one who curated the story. Right there. Who is Syntax? You can see the link on the left-hand side in the chat room, hopefully. Chat box. Oh, yeah. Oh, on the right side. Yeah. Follow them as well. They are really great. They're creative. He wrote the story. Studio Nice drew it. It's good content. You got to support your creators. Actually pay it forward. And they've done a lot to help me. Giving me advice. Andrew has been a godsend when it comes to learning about how to script and how to layer your panels, and communicating with your artists, and working things out together to make an amazing story. And it's just so compelling. I flip through these pages every single day, just to get inspired, and it's just, you just can't pass it up. It's good. This whole manga, was just straight from the heart. Everything done here was just pure passion. Sorry, I didn't mean to rip a page there. Almost did. They worked extremely hard at making this. It's called The Tokyo 5. Give it a look. Great comic. Great manga. It's gotta pay forward. Be a part of the community.